there's going to be a little bit of back and forth, but bear with me. If you have any questions, please drop them in the questions tab, right? I believe we have a Q&A section in our chat. And then at the end of the webinar, I will go over all of your questions. Hopefully we'll have time to answer these. So let's get started. The first feature that I want to talk about is our Burndown. The Burndown itself is not a new feature, but we did have some improvements in the latest quarters. So just wanted to make sure that you're all aware of our new filters and breakdown functionality and the Burndown chart in general. So here you can look at our Burndown. Let me open it. Awesome. And using our Burndown filters, you can now look at it per, for example, a specific developer or designer, or even per a specific role. Then we also have the breakdown functionality, which is very common for priority. It looks like this, where you can look at the Burndown by priority, and then you can make sure that your most prioritized items are being progressed as they should. Again, to give you that additional layer of granularity. Moving forward to some Kanban improvements. So the new Kanban is fully released to everybody. If you don't have the new Kanban, there is an option for you to move your old version to the new version in the settings. New things that came out, and let me open the Kanban, and I'm going to point out a few things. Now, these improvements were done over time, so not all necessarily for this quarter, but they all come bundle up in the new Kanban. So the first thing that you'll see, obviously, our sprint picker right here, and you can filter it by the active sprint automatically, so it's dynamic and it keeps on the active sprint. We have the battery. We also have conditional coloring. Okay, so in case you missed it, similar to how you set it up on the main table, you can now do it on Kanban cards, which is really, really cool. You can choose what are the rules that you want to color by, and then of course our configurable cards. So here in our settings, I don't know if maybe some of you have been using the old Kanban. It was kind of more clunky and not as easy to you had to like pick and choose what columns you want to see. And now it's super easy, just a little drag and drop, and you can customize your cards. If you don't have the new Kanban, and you can see it easily by having the old kind of what we call cards, then you should have an option in your Kanban settings to move to the new Kanban. So as you go to customize, you will have like a little checkbox to be able to move to the new Kanban infra, and then you will see the newer version. Next, we talked about the cards. I want to talk about the delete sprint functionality. Small, but still important. So let's say that you've added a new sprint and then you did that by mistake, or I don't know, something happened and you've created a sprint already. So as long as you don't start the sprint, you can always go here to the 3 dots and delete it from here without having to go to the sprints board. So just something to make your lives a little bit easier. Another thing that we've added recently are the sprint automations, and we have a few kinds of sprint automations. First of all, here, if we go to the 3 dots of our sprint settings, we can see some pre-made recipes that you guys can use. And then let's give it a minute with a screen share in the mention. It's a little bit heavy. Awesome. So you can use this automation, which basically means that if you add a task in the middle of the sprint, meaning after you've clicked on start, then you can automatically mark it as unplanned. So if I have an ongoing sprint like this one, and I added a new task, here my unplanned indication would automatically be checked off. Then we use it in different reports, like the new Agile reports that I will show you, and then you can also run your own reports based on that. Another new thing with automations is that now with our custom automations, we also have automation blocks for sprint start and sprint complete. Let me show you. So here you can use the trigger when sprint, if I spell it correctly, awesome. When sprint started or when sprint completed, and then you can trigger whatever you want based on it. So these are our new sprint automations. Let's talk about our new roadmap widget. So we actually call it roadmap tracker. It's a board view. Let me show you. It's a board view that you can add to any of your boards within the Monday Dev product, so not just your roadmap board. What it allows you to do to see is exactly what's going to be released each and every month. You can also customize it to look at it from a quarterly perspective. So this is a great way to share your roadmap with internal stakeholders, external stakeholders, leadership, anyone that just needs to kind of look at it and see exactly what's going to be released and when, your marketing teams, etc. And then, of course, everything is super customizable. So here you can customize what you can see here on the cards. You can add filters, and you can also here go to the settings and group it by something else. Here I have it grouped by domain, but I might want to change it, for example, by priority or anything else. The fun part is that, let's go back to domain and look at it from a quarterly view. Let's say this real-time updates feature, I can see it's by the infra team and it's going to be released in Q1, but I don't really know what it means. I can click on it and dive deeper into an item card where I have the item description with all the details, additional information, and then of course we can add here link to epics or OKRs or whatever you guys have. So the whole idea is that directly from our new roadmap tracker, you can do that deep dive and learn more about what's going to be developed. And let's take this feature. Let's say that now we want to deep dive to the next level. So we now want to look at the epics that relate to this feature. I can see them right here. I can actually now deep dive into the epic as well. So I'm going down the hierarchy. Again, great for that, going from like a 360 high-level view into the details that you want to review and look at. And then here again, I would have the epic description. I would have all the related tasks and stories now. And of course, this is an item card, so you can just add different widgets and customize it as you want and as you wish. If we go back, then it would actually take me back to my features. So you can do a full drill down of your hierarchy, and then also keep the history backwards to go back to where you were. I want to go back to the feature because I want to show you. I want to show you another new feature that we have, which is called Epic Insights, directly from here. Cool. So here you can see I added, it's just another, this view is just another item card view. Basically, we've added new widgets to the item card. So now, and these are very dashboard looking widgets. If you click on an item card add widget, then you can see additional widgets like battery widgets and a chart widget, as you can see here in a table, and even numbers widget, etc., guns. The fun part is that they can take information from Connect Boards columns. So this is, for example, a battery widget. And as I customized it, I said, give me the information from the connected tasks. What it allows me then to do is create some kind of little Epic Insights dashboard within my Epic based on the information from connected tasks or stories. So that at a glance, I can see exactly what's the progress, I can see all of my tasks, my owners, and where it stands. I can see how much effort we've already put in versus the estimated effort and how much planned effort has been added. So as a product manager, when I manage my epics, I don't have to go into the tasks and developers' tasks and stories board and dive deeper for information. I can just simply click on the Epic Insights and get everything I need in one place, get a full visibility on the progress, where are we stuck. Of course, we can do a drill down, again, very similar to the dashboard widgets that you guys might know already. We absolutely love this feature. We actually use Monday Dev across monday.com, and our teams love using this new Epic Insights feature. So yeah, I highly recommend going in and customizing your own item cards. By the way, this you can add it to any item card within the dev product, so it doesn't have to be on Epics. But if you have like projects or anything like that that you think that the widgets might work for, then feel free to add it there as well. Let's go to the next Epic Insights. We just talked about it. Agile Insights. Awesome. So in case you missed it, which I really hope you did not, we now have new Agile Insights reports, and these are board view widgets. So you can see here, I created a new view. I just named it Agile Insights. And then you just add it as a widget that you would add to a regular view, basically. So you click here on Add Widget, and then you can find our Velocity widget. And you can also find our planned versus unplanned widget, which are coming up in a second. Meanwhile, I'm going to answer some questions from the chat. So Gretchen asked, do all monday.com customers have access to Monday Dev and the functionality you're showing? So the answer is no. Monday Dev is a separate monday.com product. Of course, it sits on the same infrastructure as what we call Monday Work Management. But basically, Monday Dev, similar to Monday CRM, which is it's just another product within our product suite. So Monday Dev is built specifically for the software development use case. So you will see a lot of Scrum, Kanban, Agile functionality that's been added in terms of the features that we have. And everything that is being developed here is within the context of a software development use case. How would product managers and engineers would use Monday to manage their software development lifecycle? I hope this answers your question. If you want to check out Monday Dev, I'll show you at the end how you can check it out, maybe download a trial for your own account. But yeah, it's going to be a separate product. Awesome. So Agile Insights, we have a velocity chart where we can see sprint over sprint. And by the way, this requires no customization. So all you have to do is add the widget to the velocity widget to your board view, and automatically it takes from your sprints that you've been working on. It shows you committed versus completed work over time or over sprint, so you can see how much work was actually done based on how much you said you were going to do, and obviously we want to make sure that we improve. We also have the planned versus unplanned chart, which if you remember the automation that I showed you before, you can create an automation that says when a sprint started, if it's already been started and a task has been added in the middle, you can mark it as unplanned. And then here we use that data from the automation. Again, you don't need to customize it. All you have to do is add the planned and unplanned widget. You can see how much planned work you've had versus the unplanned work that's been added. So definitely feel free to explore this new Agile Insights reports. Is there an integration? Question from the chat. Is there an integration between Jira and Monday Dev? The answer is yes. You can go to our integration center and find our integration to Jira. Awesome. New one. That is my absolute favorite lately, the label change conditions. So I really hope you're ready for this because this is a very beautiful feature. This is, by the way, disclaimer, only for enterprise clients. So if you're an enterprise client, you will have this available. We can actually apply different rules based on label changes. So I can say, for example, you can't change a status to done if you did not add your actual efforts. Or maybe I can't change this to pending deploy if nobody is assigned as a tester. The way to do it, and this would apply to any status column that you have, here we have the set label change conditions option. And now I can map different rules. So you can see that here I've already mapped one rule where when the label changes to done, I have to add an actual story point or actual effort. I can add as many of these as I want. So I choose, let's say it's ready for testing. So then we have to add the testing person. Okay, and then I would apply it. And now let's see what happens. So let's say if I take this task, for example, and I now try to mark it as done, then I'm going to have to fill in the actual effort, and it's going to pop up like this. Label rules, it is available in Monday CRM. I believe it's not available in work management. So it's for Monday CRM and Monday Dev. Great. New integrations that we have, which if we have developers here or anybody from the engineering world, we all know that DevTools integration is super critical. We already have a fabulous GitHub integration and a Git UI view, which is not new, but in case you missed it, please make sure to, if you use GitHub, set it up because it's absolutely beautiful. We have the Git UI view where you can see all your branches and commits and PRs, and you can actually create PRs from here directly as well. But we also have really extensive recipes that you can trigger. So it's not just the Git UI, it's like almost two different functionalities within one app or integration. So if you now go to GitHub, if you search GitHub in our integration center, and I've also pulled up the support article. So let me send it to you here all in the chat in case you need it. You can see here that we have a bunch of recipes that you can set up with GitHub. The new one is the one with GitHub Actions. So now we can also not just integrate it as kind of a code repository, but also for GitHub Actions, which you can see the recipe right here. And then the second new integration that we have, again, for CI/CD, that would be Circle CI. So here is, this comes built in with Monday Dev. You don't have to pay extra. It's not an external app. I send the support link in the chat, and then you can look at this and set it up the way that you want to set it up. I believe that we just covered all of the features that I wanted to review today. So we have time for questions. If anybody has a question, feel free to drop it in the chat or the Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer. It can be any kind of general question about Monday Dev as well. It doesn't have to be about a specific feature. I'll give it another minute, and then if nobody has questions, then I'll get off the podium and then we can chat personally. You can come over to my llama and I would love to talk to you. Can it be used for grants to keep track? Anna, I'm not really sure I understand your question. What do you mean, can it be used for grants? Maybe I'm the problem. If you can elaborate a little more on the use case. And by the way, Monday Dev, just in case it wasn't very clear, if you're not familiar with Monday Dev, have your Gretchen, I'll answer you in a second. Nonprofit, and we have lots of grants, and we use Grant Hub, but it's not really what we need. And I'm not sure, I will need to get back to you on this one. Just if it wasn't clear, for Monday Dev, it's meant for software developers or anybody that works in Agile. So if you work in sprints or Kanban, this would be the product for you. If you manage like waterfall style projects, then that would be in work management. Okay, let's go one by one. Gretchen, can monday.com users have free viewer access to Monday Dev if different teams use Monday Dev? That is an amazing question. So the answer is yes. Let me explain how the products work together. So here you can see my picker, and this is where I can navigate between products. So I'm gonna guess that some of you only have access to work management. If you also buy Monday Dev, then you can also see Monday Dev right here, and you can see how easy it is to navigate between the two products. Now, when you buy seats, you buy them for a specific product. And let's say that I only have access to work management and not Monday Dev, then I would still be able to go in. I would still be able to view everything, of course, if no permissions have been applied. And it's a little more than a viewer because we can also write updates. So it also allows you to collaborate. So let's say that your marketing teams work in Monday Work Management and your devs work in Monday Dev and your sales work in Monday CRM. Not a problem. The whole point is that everybody can still be part of each other's workflows, whereas you only pay for the product that they need to live in, but we can all still collaborate. Another thing, if somebody like the admin, for example, would have access to both products, we can set up dashboards on work management that take information from Monday Dev. We can also set up cross-board automations. So a lot of like the functionality, the cross-boards functionality that you guys know would still apply if you have different products. Gretchen, I hope that answered your question. And then I see a question from Robert. Is there an integration with Zoho Marketing Automation, Zodesk, and the Zoho one? So I am actually not really sure. I will say that a marketing use case would be a better fit probably for work management, unless you work in Agile, but we can do a little check together. And then always, if we don't have a native integration, what I would recommend you to do is go to our apps marketplace to look there. And then even if there you can't find anything, you can use it using a third-party integrator like Make or Zapier. So it doesn't seem like we have a native integration, but we may have something in our marketplace. The presented solution related to enterprise, and yes, the question is yes. And also, I did customize some of it. So it's kind of like a mix. But all the features that I showed you, except for the label change conditions, would be for Pro and Enterprise. Label change conditions would only be for Enterprise. Okay, Robert, to your question, this is what I can find on our marketplace. So I'm going to guess the short answer is no, but would be worth checking with Make or Zapier if there is an easy recipe that you can set up for them. Any other questions? Okay. Seems like we don't have any more questions, so thank you all very much. I'm going to hang out in the room for a little while.